Hello again and welcome to another video. In this video, we will be discussing how to create a PCB library. In our previous videos, we worked on symbols in the schematic library and explored the built-in libraries. This time, we will create a PCB library or the footprint for that symbol. Before that, let's double check our project in Altium Develop Workspace. The great thing about this platform is that the project is organized, allowing us to see and track all the tasks and activities done. Plus, our project and folders are centralized. In the last video, we created a schematic library. So let's see if it is here. As you can see, under our ESP32 project, the schematic document we created is already here. Right now, because we haven't placed any symbols yet, the workspace there is still empty. If you also notice under other documents, our schematic library and PCB library is already here. However, for now, the web viewer doesn't support viewing the actual symbols and footprints created within the schematic and PCB libraries. There is just an option to download them. Once downloaded, you can just import them into Altium Designer. This is the beauty of this platform. Now let's start creating the footprint. First, let's close our schematic document and the schematic library for now. We will only keep the PCB library open. This is the main workspace of the PCB library, and this is where we will create our footprint. Here is our origin point. When creating a footprint, we must always consider looking at the datasheet. Since we will be making an 0805 package here, let's get started. By the way, down here at the bottom, these are the layers where we all place our objects. The top layer is the primary layer where we will place the objects for our pads. That is the conducting part of the component. To add pad, just click on Place, then click Pad. As you can notice, its default is a true hole. This green part is the actual hole, and the gray part is the copper area. To change it, since we need an 805 package, we need the surface mount pad. This is a true hole, so we won't be using this. Let's just press Tab to go to its properties. Here, under Layer, this will define whether it will a true hole or a surface mount pad. Just click on this drop down and change it to top layer. There, as you can see, its color changed, corresponding to the color of the layer down here. Since the top layer is red, our pad also becomes red, meaning it's now on the top. You'll also notice that the green hole is gone because it is now a surface mount pad. Just click this button here to return to the workspace. Then click to place the pad. You will notice, just like in the schematic library, pin 2 will automatically appear after pin 1. Then to cancel the command, just right click on your mouse. Now that we have our pads, let's adjust their dimensions. An 805 size is a standard size for capacitors and resistors. I have a reference here for the standard sizes that we can follow. This is an example of an 805 package. what we need to look at is the PCB layout guidelines. Since this is what we need, here is its recommended pad size. Based on this, the pad size is 1.2 mm by 1.4 mm. So let's go back to our PCB editor. To change their properties, just click and drag to select both pads. The properties panel will automatically pop up. Now let's change their size. If you notice, it is currently set to mils. To switch it to mm, just press Ctrl plus Q on your keyboard to toggle the units. So again, the size we need is 1.2 mm by 1.14 mm. But as you can see, the shape is still round. To change the shape, let's go here to the shape setting and change it to rectangle. Now you might notice our placement isn't aligned. To align them perfectly, just press Ctrl Shift plus T. This will align them to the top, meaning whichever object is higher, the lower object will move up to match it. As you can see, pin 2 moved up because pin 1 was positioned slightly higher. Next, we will adjust the distance between them. Going back to the PCB pad recommendation, the total length dimension is 3.05. Let's find the center to center distance of the pads. To compute this, the distance from center to center should be 1.91 mm. What I usually do here is place an imaginary line. I'll just click place, then line. I'll draw a dummy line there. And to adjust its properties, I'll change its length to 1.91 mm and place it right at the center. Once the center is aligned, I will just drag this pad over here and this one. Then to check if it matches the 3.05 mm dimension from the datasheet, just press R then M to your keyboard. This will measure the distance between the objects. As you can see, the distance is exactly 3.05 mm. So what we did this is correct. Now we can just delete this dummy line. So the main task of creating the PCB library is done. As for the other steps, like adding a top overlay, it follows the exact same concept. You just need to switch to that specific layer tab at the bottom before drawing so it goes to the right place. For example, if we choose the top overlay layer to add an outline to this package, we just click place, then line. As you can see, its color changes, corresponding to whichever layer is active in the bottom tab. And that wraps up our topic for this video. Creating different objects follows this same concept. You can just explore the various layers here, and in the next video, we will continue by correlating our schematic library with our PCB library.